Oh. I should have had more self-control. I should have never given him away. It was a warm summer's afternoon. I was leveling up my Serperior, Samurott and Slowbro on Pokemon White when my sister walked into the room, clearly looking stressed. "Hey, could I have one of your Pokemon to help me get through the league?" she inquired. "Sure," I retorted back. The trade started, but before I gave her the chance to pick one of my precious Pokemon, she instantly set eyes on my Serperior. It was a level 99 from Japan, and was its previous owner's starter. I regarded it with great respect. Anyways, her selection of Pokemon was less than adequate. A Roggenrola, Petlil and Patrat graced my screen. She was never that good at trading. I had to choose a Pokemon, or else she would start a screaming tornado of a tantrum. I chose Roggenrola, just for the fun of it. We then parted ways and I went back to training my team. It had been many months since the trade. The Roggenrola I was traded evolved into a Gigalith, which, I might add, ended up being a powerhouse of a Pokemon. But my sister still hadn't completed the league. Instead of resorting to messing around Unova, I was awaiting the return of Serperior, and I was getting impatient. So, I decided to take him back by force. Bounding down the stairs, I grabbed a red DS and secretly switched it on, Pokemon Black still inserted. Racing back up the stairs and onto my bed, mashing all the buttons all the way through the Pokemon Center and into the Union Room, I set up a trade between her DS and my own. Something quite unusual happened when my DS connected to trade. The screen remained black. I watched the screen carefully, afraid that my game was corrupted or something. But then the screen came back to life, giving me hope. I was then met with my Serperior's summary. His moveset was full of HM moves. How my sister had done this was unknown, but it filled me with rage. How could she do this to my beloved Pokemon? I never wanted a HM slave, I thought as my jaws clenched together. I exited the summary and the screen returned to black. At this time, my sister's DS shut off. It had run out of battery, and Serperior's sprite appeared on the screen. My heart nearly stopped out of shock. Serperior seemed faded, and the leaf at the end of his tail had rotted in places, blood flowing out of the broken leaf. Strange bleeding sores stretched across his side and his head, which would normally be raised proudly, was instead drooping down towards the floor. Deep blue tears that seeped from his eyes, red from crying, mixed with blood pouring from a gash to his front, creating a crimson flow. Around where he lay was a pool of blood. A text box appeared below the scene. "Master? You came back for me?" A yes and no option appeared on the touchscreen. Terrified from the appearance of Serperior's sprite, I hit yes with the stylus, almost smashing through the touchscreen. Serperior doesn't believe you. Serperior is enraged that you left him behind. Serperior isn't a slave. Choking back tears, I sobbed into the microphone, almost by impulse. "Serperior, I never wanted you to become like this. It's not right, and I should never have let you go. It's all our fault. Please, believe me." But the game didn't respond. Serperior continued. "It's your fault, Master. You gave me away to that horrible owner, just like my previous owner did to me. I saw trust in you, thought you would understand. But I guess the future refused to change. You humans are all the same. It's been the same story all along. But now, I've had enough. You're the snake, not me," cascaded through my DS's speakers. I felt a warm fluid pour out over the sides of my head, followed by extreme pain. My eardrums had disintegrated. Serperior's sprite disappeared. My trainer was then warped to Sky Arrow Bridge, or what was left of it. I was standing in the middle of the bridge, but looking straight ahead at the Castelia city skyline. Castelia was deserted. The streets were empty and, despite it being nighttime, all the lights were switched off. The city resembled a post-apocalyptic war zone. Sky Arrow Bridge itself was left in ruins. The roadway and walkway had collapsed just ahead of me, and several towers had also fallen away, their flimsy cables flailing around in the breeze. The remaining towers were close to collapse, but held taut by several overgrown vines. Slowly, music started to play. I struggled to hear it with my broken eardrums, but it wasn't clear enough to recognize. Serperior's sprite appeared on the screen behind my trainer. This time, there was no text box, but instead Serperior's voice boomed from the DS speaker. So, don't you now realize your own selfish actions have led you to do this? You were the only one who gave me away to the monster. I pleaded with the Pokemon. But it wasn't my fault. I didn't know she'd make you into this. Once again, the game didn't respond, but Serperior still continued. Master. There was a long pause. You condemned me. The DS screen went black again, and I heard a hyper-realistic scream emit from the speakers. I passed out. Several hours later, I awoke. I was in my room. I looked on either side of me, and for some reason, there was no blood on my pillow sheets. My DS hadn't switched off, and it was frozen. I opened it, and to my shock, the scene was very different. My trainer was on his knees, staring straight ahead at a massive green on the floor. Castelia was restored and the bridge was back to normal. I walked towards the green object ahead of me, and it became clear. It was Serperior. His injuries were still existent, but his expression was different, as if he was at peace. A text box appeared. Master, I've reconsidered my actions. As such, I've repaired the damage, but the actions I've caused were just wrong. I will now leave and hope that you will forgive me. But promise me something. Get your revenge. Serperior then turned around and walked away from my trainer and disappeared. Thank you for listening to the end. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to make sure you never miss a story.